Hey guys, what's up? It's John Grinder, the Pajama Pants Player. The best in the world. You guessed it, ladies and gentlemen. And it is a Wednesday afternoon, about 5 o'clock, 5:30, whatever. And today I am coming at you guys with a request. It is a request from my all-time, one of my favorite people in the world, Matt Motek. I don't know if you wanted me to give you the shout-out or not, Matt, but I did. I love you. You're my broski. I'm your broski, whatever. And he asked me to review a film that he actually has of mine. He took the DVD copy I had of it, so nothing to show up. But it is Superbad. I've always loved Superbad. Superbad, honest to God, is a classic. It really is. I mean, it's one of those movies that comes along and shocked the world in a way because, you know, nobody knew who Jonah Hill was. Nobody knew who Michael Cera was. To this day, not too many people know who Michael Cera is. I mean, This Is the End kind of helped his career get a little bit more, you know, regenerized, if you will. And, you know, nobody knows McLovin's real name, but it's Christopher Mintz-Plasse. And, you know, so you took a movie with three unknowns and, you know, you just said, you know what, here's your script, go get them, you know, kind of thing. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg wrote the scripts, and they're behind Pineapple Express, This Is the End. Honestly, two really talented guys. Seth Rogen has always been a favorite of mine, acting-wise. And, I don't know, I really, really like Seth Rogen. I think he's pretty awesome. Evan Goldberg is always behind the scenes, it seems, but I guarantee you he's a really funny guy, too. But the plot of Superbad is basically... well, before I even get into that, Superbad is a movie that it feels old. Like, it feels like an 80s movie made now, or a 70s movie. The music in it, the score, it's like dun-dun-dun-dun, and just the way some of the kids act in it and stuff, it just feels very reminiscent of the 70s and 80s. At least that's the vibe I get from the movie. I don't know, maybe somebody will say, like, oh no, I think the kids were very current in the film. You know, that's your opinion. I actually don't think so. I think the kids actually seem really old school. Sorry, I'm just going to move the camera up a little. I don't know whether or not anything's going to be at the bottom. If it was okay, whatever. It's just a little bit closer now. But the basic plot of the film is Seth and Evan. Seth is Jonah Hill's character, and Evan is Michael Cera's character. Seth and Evan. I wonder where they got the names from. But they're best friends since they're like 8 years old, I think they say. And it's just Friday night after Friday night of them doing absolutely nothing. They're like watching porn together, like going to nightclubs, getting drunk out of their minds, getting kicked out of nightclubs. And they're like talking, and they're like, man, you know, college is coming up. We did nothing in high school. All this stuff sucks. There's this other kid named Fogel who's always following them around. He's kind of the third man of the group, but they don't really want him to be. And he's played by Christopher Mintz-Plasse. And they finally, you know, hear about this party that Emma Stone is throwing, who she went on to do a lot of good stuff. You know, like, I really like Easy A, Call Me Gay or anything. I really thought it was a good movie. Easy A, Zombieland. She's a pretty good actress. The Help, I think she was in. I didn't see it, but I heard she did a great job in it, so that's awesome. And she's throwing this party, and Jonah Hill's like, you know, we have to go to the fucking party. We have to go get fucked, you know. The things he explains in the movie are just so realistic. He's like, you know, when that girl wakes up in the morning, she goes, oh God, I shouldn't have fucked that guy. He goes, we could be that mistake, you know. And it's just such a funny, like, it's like, because that's how people really talk, you know. You're watching and you're like, you know, this isn't really, you know, like a movie. It doesn't feel like it, at least. It feels like real life. And Michael Cera is very shy and timid and stuff, and he likes this girl in his math class, I think. And I don't know who the hell she is. She's done other stuff, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know the actress's name. And he really wants to bang her, and, like, he tells her, you know, oh, I go to millions of parties, but, you know, you obviously never see me there. And basically, they ask not Seth Rogen, they ask Seth and Evan to get the booze. They're like, bring the booze to the party. You're the you know, bring the booze kind of thing. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, we got it. And they're like, fuck, we're fucked. We don't have IDs. We're not going to get drugged. You know, we can't get the proper stuff we need for the party. And, you know, they ask Fogel to get the fake ID. And he comes back, and it's the classic scene, you know, McLovin, Hawaii organ donor, you know. And he's like, I know that, faggle. He's like, why the fuck is it between this and Muhammad? And it's just all this funny shit. And it's like, holy shit, what a fucking idiot. And then, you know, they were like, okay, you're going to try the ID. So he tries the ID, and basically he gets punched in the face while he's like, you know, getting the stuff. And it looks like it's going to work out. And then you're met up by Bill Hader and Seth Rogen, who played the two cops in the film, and they're like hilarious. I thought they really did click very well. You know, not as good as Seth Rogen would click with James Franco the year later when they made Pineapple Express, but I feel like, which also check out my review of that. That's on my channel somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I reviewed Pineapple Express. And him and Bill Hader had pretty good chemistry in the film. And basically they're just driving around with McLovin the whole way through the rest of the movie. And it's just really funny. Like, they talk to him about stuff and life and what not to do, what to do. And they're just fucking retarded. And it's so funny how they're playing off each other in this kind of way. Like, he goes, you know, last week we arrested a prostitute named Fuck. But, you know, it wasn't the actual fuck. It was like PH fuck. And I don't know, it's just some of that kind of dialogue I love. It's just personally like my favorite kind of dialogue. Seth Rogen, you know, when he puts the shit to the paper, I usually find it funny. Seth Rogen is just a guy who maybe me and him have a similar sense of humor. I don't know. But, and then Seth and Evan, it's basically this wild goose chase to kind of like get the booze, get to the party and all this stuff, and they keep running into problem after problem after problem, which is really reminiscent of an 80s movie and any other movie really. It's so funny, like all the shit they run into, and at one point they're at this party and there's this Mexican girl dancing on Jonah Hill, and she's like bleeding, she has like her period on his leg, like she uses his leg as a tampon, and it's fucking classic, like it's so funny. It's like, he's like, use my leg as a fucking tampon, what the fuck? And they're all like, these guys at the party's like, dude, look, I don't know. It's realistic in a way, you know? And there's this whole subtext in the whole film. It's like, you know, one's going to a smarter college, and I think Michael Cera's I'm sorry, I kind of brain blocked there. Michael Cera's character is going to, like, Dartmouth College with McLovin, and Jonah Hill isn't smart enough to get in, so he's going to another college. And throughout the whole movie, they're arguing about that, like, oh, you're a dick because we're not going to go to the same college together. These are some of the last times. And Michael Cera at one point just breaks down. He's like, you know, I followed you around all this high school, all this stuff. I wasted time with you when I could have been meeting girls, going to parties, doing stuff. And it's kind of true. It's like some people do that, you know. Some people, like, I feel like you could have a group of these guys, and one of them you think is kind of chill, and the other one is like, you know, completely like, oh, I want to be different, I'm different, you know? And that's kind of plays in the realism factor of it, and I really do appreciate that, you know, kind of angle of the film. And basically they finally get to the party, and things don't go as they planned, pretty much. The girl that Michael Cera likes is pissed drunk, and he's, like, skeeved out. And, you know, Jonah Hill, Emma Stone is completely not into drinking or anything. She's like straight edge. And he's like, fuck, you know, he gets all fucked up. So they're like upset and stuff, and they're like, shit, and they sleep over each other's houses that night, and they're like, dude, you're my best friend, don't worry about it, like, we let these girls come between us, but it's no problem, we can just sit here, eat pizza rolls, whatever. And it's kind of like, you're kind of like, huh, like, that's a weird ending to this movie. It's kind of like, it starts how it ends in a way. It's like, they start with no girls and no life, and then they end up, they're like, all we need is each other. But it doesn't end that way. There's another scene, and they go to the mall, and they're like shopping the next day, and they run into the two girls, M. Stone and the other girl. And I really, really, really like this ending to the movie. And this is something I never really hear anybody touch on. At least I've never heard anybody touch on it. It's kind of, they're like, oh, okay, I'll go buy you some makeup to cover up your black eye, because that fucking happens. And, you know, he goes, oh, I'll go, you know, shop with you the other way. And pretty much Jonah Hill goes with Emma Stone, and Michael Cera goes with the other girl. And Michael Cera, like, he's standing on the top of the escalator, and Jonah Hill goes down. And he kind of looks back, and they look at each other for, like, 5 seconds straight. And he looks at him, he's like, I don't know what you're supposed to interpret from it. I personally interpret that, like, look at this, man, like, we made it here, you know, this is our friendship, you know, we're going to be friends, we're going to have girlfriends now, we're going to enjoy senior year, and it has kind of that happy ending, and you can kind of draw the conclusion kind of thing, and my conclusion is, you know, they both live happily ever after kind of thing. If you are different than that, then whatever, that's your cup of tea. But Superbad, I didn't mention hardly any of the funny stuff in it. It really is a movie that needs to be seen if you haven't seen it, and if you have seen it, I guarantee you agree with me when I say it is worthy of a Granny's classic movie review. But yeah, that's gonna be all for now. No intros or anything. I'm fucking tired. It's fucking Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It's hump day, if you will. And Grande is tired. So that's going to be all for now. Matt, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, shoot me a text. Favorite my tweet. I'll tweet this. I don't care. I don't, you know, do something. But that's going to be all for now. I'm John Grande, the best in the world. You've been chilling them, guys. Peace.